What's up, guys? Here we are. I think probably the last CKL game day of the season, or at least the last one before we hit the off season. So pretty exciting stuff. Then had D1 finals happen recently, last week. Really exciting stuff. D2, D3 happening. I don't know when. I know D3 is getting D3 is happening. I think in like an hour. Now that I think about it, so that should be fun to watch. I have no idea when D2 finals is happening yet. We'll see. We'll see. I'll quick check that actually just before I start spreading misinformation. Don't want to do that here, guys, with you guys. If my computer loads, that'd be great as well. Yeah, D3. Okay, Tube Central. So 3 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, D3 finals starts in less than an hour. They apparently want to do a best of 5, looking at that 2 to 7 p.m. Central, and I'm like, ugh. If it's 4 to 7 Central, then that's more interesting. Then that makes more sense. But yeah, best of 3 there. Real exciting there. Real exciting stuff. D3 finals is going to be really fun to watch. We'll go over that eventually because there's a lot to talk about there. Meanwhile, Division 2. Yeah, they're still trying to sort that out. They have until like a week from today, so I'm not too worried about them. But that's also going to be a great match to watch, so hopefully they can sort it out. Doesn't look like we'll be doing any prime time, mostly just because of when they're going to be able to play, so I'm not going to be able to stream that. But if there are like any streams from either of the players, have that POV up, that'll be exciting to have. Anyway, gotta quick go into some housekeeping stuff. First of all, we finally hit affiliate. Let's go. Got that 50 followers. Streamed yesterday for the hell of it just to get that at last stream for 7 days in a month thing. So yeah, look at us go. We finally have affiliate status. You can technically sub if you want to. I don't really care if you do or not. It's gonna be like, oh, $5 a month. How are you that poor to not be able to sub? Yeah, that kind of like Twitch nonsense. I'm doing this just for the fun of it, pretty much. Not expecting anyone to sub or donate or anything like that. You're all college students. You have much better uses of your money than to subscribe to like a collegiate Mario Kart channel. Wow. That worked. Thanks for the sub. I have no idea how I'm actually doing any of this, but let's go. First sub. Thank you for that. Yeah. So the easiest way. So if you ever want to have like an easy way to get subs, you actually just have to say how you don't want subs, and then people will sub to you. If you say like, yo, why are you not subbing to me? It doesn't work. As a psychology student, it's all reverse psychology basically. Gotta make them think you don't want it, and that's how you get it. That's obviously how this works, right guys? Yo, shout out Phantom Anthony also being here. Let's go. I can gift a sub. I don't know how. I'm not gonna do that yet, but yeah. Let's go. Hit that first sub goal. What even is a sub goal at this point? I don't know yet. But yeah, using the Prime sub, much appreciated. Thank you, Jeffrey Bezos. Okay. So yeah, we hit housekeeping stuff. We hit affiliate for those who are just joining in now. Technically, you can sub if you want to. I gotta figure out emotes and like everything else with the Twitch stuff because I have no idea what I'm doing half the time here. But we'll get that all sorted out eventually. Okay, let's get into the rest of the show then. Probably going to be a shorter stream. There's a lot of CKL content happening today, so Iona, Oklahoma plays tonight, or this afternoon, depending on time zone. The CKL award show is happening later tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. That's on the CKL Twitch. That'll be really exciting. Hope you guys tune into that. I'm going to wear a suit and tie for the hell of it. Gonna be co-hosting it, I guess. Then get someone, then like make fun of like some random person and have them like fly over and slap me in the face, and then look, boom, have our Will Smith moment there. But maybe we won't have that. We'll see. Okay, let's get into it. D1 Finals. Once I pull that up, that'd be convenient. Yo, Gochi, thanks for hopping in, man. Okay, so D1 Finals, we can look at this one of two ways. We can actually we can get the deep dive analysis, or we can just get the video summary. And I think the video summary is probably the best way to go about it, because we're students. We like videos for the most part, so let's take a look at that. Okay, screen share. Full screen. Making sure my audio is actually up.
Did you witness Collegiate Garfield Kart Division 1 Finals? On November 25, 2023, two of the best teams in the world, Kutztown and Ontario, faced off in what is known as the Diabolical Debauchery. From that day forth...
Hold on, I am going to give a different screen here before I... There we go. Rewind it a bit so you can get all the audio.
25th, 2023, two of the best teams in the world, Kutztown and Ontario, faced off in what is known as the Diabolical Debauchery. From that day forth, an unspoken bomb was dropped on the collegiate Mario Kart scene. Former bench player Godkip was able to lock in for Face ID and show up to the finals after recovering from his nap with Iona. Rumor has it that KU player Technical had been using speed hacks during the match in order to keep his first place, but anyone watching knew that he was simply too good. After the match had ended, Dr. Proctor 12 hoisted up his Canadian flag in order to promote a message that not everyone caught. Here it is in case you missed it.
It was very close until the end, but thankfully we were able to unplug Bo's Wi-Fi mid-round in order to efficiently take the team out for good.
This caused an uproar in the CKL chat, with numerous teams claiming to disband. OU hasn't spoken on this since the event, leaving spectators in awe of the deeds that had been done that day. Was it too much, or did OU really deserve to clutch up the first Canadian victory?
I love that we actually have this kind of content now, honestly. It's just hilarious having this really great stuff from our talented community. Thank you, Spoon, for making stuff like that. Okay, got a warping. Am I gonna be able to play tonight? Probably not, but oh well. Maybe depending on actually when it is. Where's my audio? Okay, let's talk about the actual matches then, now that we have the meme analysis. Go into what happened during the war. So, Game 1, very close, honestly, for the most part. Ontario United beats Kutztown in Game 1, 496 to 478. It's a plus 18 win for Ontario. Iona with the 113, Godkip with the 103, Doc Proc 86, Guilty 72, Moo Moo 69, Bonker 63. Meanwhile, for Kutztown, Technical 132, Backboo 105, Steepian 78, Bo 74, MC 51, JK 838. I think, well, I mentioned this in chat and in my little analysis between games, but it meant a lot to have Godkip play for Ontario. Godkip playing is such a crazy thing, because Godkip barely played. Godkip's been busy with work, I think he mentioned. But so having him actually in LU was so good for them, because now Iona has a great person to back them up, to run. And we know Doc Proc, Guilty, Moo Moo, Bonkers are all great players. But Godkip is just on another level. So having that great second option really takes a lot off from Iona, and really helped Ontario in this matchup. Meanwhile, Kutztown, Technical 132, Batboo 105, CPN 78. Yeah, we went over this. Tech and Batboo played as well as you expected them to. There were some incredible runs from a lot of the players here. I remember watching Waluigi Stadium, I think it was in Game 1, where Technical just had this crazy, insane run for the most part, and really dominated a lot of running tracks. But what I think separated Ontario from Kutztown in this game was, well, a couple things. One, depth, I think Ontario has a deeper lineup, which was surprising because I thought Kutztown was like similarly deep, and then it comes down to the second thing, experience. Ontario as a team is just a lot more experienced in 6v6 than Kutztown is. So we know that Bo is playing a lot more now in 6v6 thanks to U-Turn, but DP and MCJK8 are a bit more raw. And I think it kind of showed here, even with Bo, the nerves probably settled in. I know Bo's Wi-Fi, as he saw in the short, frequent disconnects. Maybe JP Givner did something like gritty over to the States, grittied over to Pennsylvania, did some stuff with the Wi-Fi, tampering from Ontario's, and who knows? But overall, Ontario, just a more consistent and more deep roster, has led them to just being able to just consistently put up better results and just put out good races. I think you look back at the matchup, and in the first match, I think going into the last GP, Kutztown was ahead, and then race 9, it was a tie. Kutztown was up by like 20, and then DK Summit happened on race 10, and that swung everything, because Ontario had like a massive win on DK Summit. You were stuck on handheld mode the whole time? I am so sorry. I know some players like legitimately play handheld. Justin Tendo is one that comes to mind. He plays on NFO Celestial, I want to say now. He was a former teammate of mine. And he legitimately plays handheld. But, like, I could not. Like, handheld, it just feels wrong. I need a bigger screen, and the Joy-Cons just don't work for me. So the fact that you're on handheld, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that, Bo. But yeah, DK Summit was the killer in match 1. Really swung the momentum for Ontario there. And they were able to just, like, finish the job in match 1. And I think that momentum just carried over to match 2, where Ontario wins the set 2-0 with a 520 to 464 win. Ontario was just very solid here. Iona 117, Godgip 116, DocProc 86, Guilty 71, Moo 69, Bonker 61. Meanwhile, for Kutztown, Technical 125, Bapu 112, Steepian 68, JKH 56, Bo 53, MC 50. I was watching the MC stream alongside Primetime because I was really invested in just hearing what Kutztown was doing and seeing a lot more from their end. I think it really just came down to experience here. I think this is just the growing pains of a collegiate team, where you get a lot of the highs, but then a lot of the lows. I think Kutztown not playing for a couple weeks, like tournament-wise, they probably could have scrimmed, they could have lounged, they could have done like wars with their other teams. But I think Ontario's playing hot after week 5, after really close semifinals. So, and Kutztown was kind of going in cold, so I think that had a lot to do with it, and it kind of showed. You could argue Godkip was cold in terms of playing up with Ontario, but Godkip plays a lot with Buzz. So I know he's been on the grind lately too. And then, yeah, as I mentioned before, having Godkip really swayed things for Ontario. Because, like, as great as Iona is, we had a feeling Technical would still MVP the room. But having Godkip now to, like, help fight Tech and Batboo, it doesn't necessarily even it out, but it allows for the rest of Ontario's depth to really come into play and show like why they're such a deep team. Like, they got 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9 overall, and it was rough for Kutztown having four of the bottom 5 overall, and then Tech Batboo leading the way. But yeah, it's a learning experience for Kutztown. Hoping to see them do amazing next season, especially with it being only one school, so single schools only. We're not going to see the super teams anymore. Maybe we'll see Kutztown dominate once again in the regular season, and then use this playoff experience to really push forward into finals, into semis, finals, whatever playoff run they have. But all the props in the world go to Ontario United. I don't know how many of these players go to the same school. I know there are a lot from the province of Ontario, obviously, but I don't know who all goes to the same school. But this is a great win. I know Ontario United's been around for a while now. They were around before the summer, actually. They were around because I know they tried to play Equator League. I was wondering if they're going to play MKU also, but they didn't. But this is what they came here for. This is why Ontario was formed in the first place, to get this college run, enter the collegiate league, and then win. And Canada has won the first ever CKL 6v6, and great for them, honestly, to pull off this amazing run. Great players, all congratulations to the world. If you want to argue Iona as MVP for the season, you have a great case to now, especially with this kind of performance that they put on. But yeah, so congratulations to Ontario United, winning Division 1 finals, winning Division 1, being the top team in CKL arguably right now. And I hope to see them return in some fashion next semester. I don't know how many of them will, but I hope that there are at least a few of them who will go to the same school and get a chance to play together again next season. Okay, Division 3 finals is happening soon-ish, so let's go over them first, because I know they're at least happening sometime today. Division 2 is sometime next week, probably, assuming it happens. I know Cynical is bowling right now, so that's pretty much the reason why Division 2 is... You're playing... Okay, 5 Eastern. Nice. I'm assuming Eastern time, because Iona is in New York. Nice. Okay. The storyline for Iona, Oklahoma is one of the best things you could script, ever. First of all, Oklahoma and Iona should not have been in the same conference, if I'm being quite honest. It's kind of worked out that it did, though. But these are the two best teams in Division 3. I will fully stand by that. And then they played a lot in scrims against each other. They're basically being sparring partners, which has been great. And in the past 2 matches that they played this season, Iona won both of them. In fact, in the second one, Iona kind of won handily, if I'm being honest. So Iona has the advantage. And Iona has yet to lose a tournament match this season, going 10-0 in the regular season, and then winning against Huskers in semis 2-0. Very few of their matches have even come within 50. So I'm really interested here to see what happens, because it's close. This is a very close match potentially, because Oklahoma came off this really tight match in semis, which I thought it was going to go to 3 games. I didn't think it would be that close, a 2-point difference, but whatever happens. There was this bye week now also, I guess, so it seems to have more time to prepare. And I know a lot of players from Oklahoma are playing on other teams. A lot of players from Iona are playing on other teams. The Interstellar family has a few of these players now. U-Turn, I think, has a couple of these players. I think. Maybe not U-Turn, but I know Only Friends has Rumble trialing as well. So, it's close. I feel like you have to give the edge to Iona, though. Iona has not been as dominant as they were early in the season, if we are being straight up honest. I think other teams are starting to catch up. And there are certain things from Iona's play that I think can be exploited if teams know how to exploit it. But at this division, I don't know if a lot of the teams are aware about the couple of flaws in Iona's play. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma is so reliant on who they put out in their lineup today, for being honest. Because Oklahoma is great because they have a deep lineup. You could argue that their entire roster is good and can deserve to play a spot in finals, but I think really here, you want the best players possible. you want to see the JWT, Taikadesa, Rumble, Golden, Rhino Bites, Brad Tobias come out for Oklahoma. Iona, in a similar vein, I expect Iona to put out like their best LU. Like, I expect to see Goji, Franken, Fire, Gold AJ basically, Cito as well. I'm curious. I don't know whose lineups are being out right now, and like, it'll be exciting. And I'm hoping, I won't lie, I kind of hope this goes to 3. I think it'd be really cool here, because while Iona is still undefeated, and that's the biggest storyline here, but you look what happens in MKU all the time, the biggest Mario Kart tournament series in the world, and teams that go 10-0 often don't finish the job. So there's that, like, it's a curse almost at this point for Iona. Like, knowing they have to, like, get through that, like, you get this far and to come so close, but to, like, potentially lose it all at the end, it would be heartbreaking. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma has this, like, mental edge of, like, or they have the mental deficit here of, they have yet to beat Iona, I think, at least in a tournament match. And, like, most of the tournament matches, they just weren't close. Not as close as you would expect from, like, the second and best team in the division. And Oklahoma and Iona have been a bit shaky heading into this. And I don't really know exactly who's going to be on top of their game. And there's been good results from them since. UNI MSU, that's a good result. UNI has been amazing. I'm happy to see UNI playing well. My god, Iona beat MSU like that? Wow. Yeah, this thing with Iona. Iona would be a contender in D2. Iona makes playoffs in D2, I think. Oklahoma probably also makes playoffs in D2. Or as Iona and Oklahoma fighting for playoffs in D2 if they were on there. Yeah, because you see teams like... Yeah. It might be interesting. Iona is, like, most likely D2. Unless we see a wave of, like, new teams that have, like, top players come up. Which I kind of doubt, but... You never know. You never know, honestly, at this point. I know if anyone watches, like, CCA, Collegiate Splatoon, I missed D1 finals yesterday, so I can't comment about that. Don't spoil that for me either. I want to know at some point. I want to watch it myself. But college teams, some of them just come up out of nowhere and like, oh, look, this top player apparently has a team, has a school that has, like, potential players. Like, that could be crazy. So I would expect Iona and Oklahoma to move up, depending on the number of teams. You could argue even Iona potentially Division 1. I don't know about that, actually. It would depend on the number of teams, but it's not super far-fetched, because Iona and Oklahoma both have beaten Morgan State. UNI has beaten Morgan State now. Granted, MSU did have a bot. But yeah, it'll depend. So, let's stop beating around the bush now. If Oklahoma wants to win this, they have to win Game 1, I think. I think at this point, the only way for Oklahoma to win is if they win Game 1. Iona has yet to lose a tournament war, and if Iona wins Game 1, I think they're confident going into Game 2. And they have momentum from Game 1, and they should be able to clean up Game 2. Oklahoma needs to get on the board early, and they can do that. They are definitely capable of doing so, but if they don't, it's pretty much an Iona win. Iona has been just consistently strong, top to bottom on their roster. I just realized some of these, like, emotes. It's hilarious. Why have I have a super react? Like, that's... I have a secret weakness is counting. That'd be funny as heck, actually. Imagine table is the reason they lose. They start lobby early because there's not 12 players and then they get penalized. That'd be a hilariously sad way for Iona to lose finals. But Iona's just good. We know this. We've known this for a long time. Iona is the top team in this div for a reason. Top to bottom, there are so many good players on this team, and you would expect any of them to just show up and show out no matter what happens. What just happened here? Okay, Microsoft Edge giving me more example reasons to just switch over to Chrome at some point. If it didn't kill my computer, I would. Yeah, Iona wins this, is my guess. I think Iona wins this 2-0, but if Oklahoma gets on the board, I could see them winning this in 3. I think it'll be close. I do think Oklahoma is going to put up a great fight. These teams know each other pretty well. Oklahoma, can definitely pull this upset off. In fact, it would be an upset, and would be a great upset to see if Oklahoma pulls it off. But I think Iona is just too consistent, too strong at the top, and I think especially after Game 2 against Nebraska Huskers, where Iona was going into the last GP losing, I think they are starting to figure out how to play from behind, and if they were to lose or get down early in Game 1, they'd be able to come back. And we know we see Iona have that plot armor now, that like killer instinct, for lack of a better term. And I think this is probably Iona's season to pull it off, and then it'd be crazy. The team that had one of the most miraculous paths to even make it into the league wins division finals in their first time out. That'd be a great story. That's a 30 for 30 right there. Honestly, Division 3 deserves an entire documentary. It's in of itself. If I had better video editing skills and more time, I would totally do that. Division 2. House divided, Virginia Tech. I think everyone knew this going in. These were the two best teams in Division 2 by a lot. It was basically House divided, Virginia Tech, everyone else. Iona just plays Pokemon Unite now. What the heck happened? I remember I played against you guys in Splatoon one year, I know that. But I'm like, what do you mean you're just playing Pokemon Unite now? If you look at the season series for Virginia Tech, House Divided, VT won both of them? No, what am I saying? House Divided won both of them. Trying to do math in my head right now, and it's like less than 50. In fact, some of them are pretty close. I actually need to see who played in each war, because I am curious. That actually would mean a lot here. This is big, yeah. Shorts, Nova, I don't know, Noah, Silver, Jalapeno. That's a almost top lineup for House Divided. And having Cynical Ice is great as well for VT. Seeing the MCH losses starts to hurt here now. Did I pass it? Might have passed it. No, it's earlier up. Were they a week 1 match? They were. Yeah, and then week 1, Cynical Ice. Wow, okay. No shorts either for House Divided. No Nunley. Nunley instead of shorts. Okay, that's interesting then. There's no guarantee that either team has their top LU. More notably, House Divided. If House Divided doesn't have their top LU, then things get really interesting. Like, no shorts or no Nunley could make things really close. Especially now that Ice is shaking the dust off and, like, has gotten a lot better. now that they've just gotten more playtime in. House Divided, Virginia Tech could be very close. I think this is hard to tell because Virginia Tech is the two best players in that room. Cynical and Ice are just so good. And there's no doubt that they are the best players there. But House Divided has more depth overall between their LU. So it's a very similar situation actually to Ontario Kutztown, where House Divided is basically like Ontario, and Virginia Tech is Kutztown. It's also funny that House Divided is technically a super team. Virginia Tech is a single school. So, really, yeah, a lot of parallels there. That's kind of crazy. That's funny, actually. You have to give the advantage so far to House Divided, I think. House Divided is not only more active as a group in terms of like being able to play more often, especially together, and they have that better chemistry, but they also just, it's a deeper lineup. I think Cynical and Ice are going to have to put up insane numbers because the rest of VT, as decent as they are, and I'm assuming they're great people, they can't hold a candle to House Divided's like depth. Like the third best player on VT is admittingly is worse than the fifth best player on House Divided. House Divided is just such a deep team. So I would imagine House Divided just wins this. I don't know if it goes 3. It could. I could see Virginia Tech stealing game 1 or 2. But I think House Divided just has too much consistency. Their depth is better. There's more experience across like the bottom half of their roster compared to Virginia Tech, who's like all new outside of Cynical and Ice. So because of that, I would say House Divided wins. I'm thinking House Divided wins 2-0. I think they win 2-0, yeah. I think House Divided wins this 2-0. I would love to see it go game 3. In fact, I could see Cynical pulling off some crazy stuff. Because Cynical and Ice are like 2 of the best players in this div. Cynical and Ice are the 2 best players in this div. But House Divided is just stacked. Short is putting up great numbers. Nova is playing great. You have depth with Silver, Nunley, Jalapena. I'm forgetting someone, probably. My bad. But yeah, overall, I think House Divided, it's too deep of a roster. They're too good here. House Divided arguably should have been Division 1 had UA just not signed up, which had they not fallen out off, we just swapped their spots, then for sure House Divided would be in D1. They have that kind of depth in their team, and they're just a consistent team overall. And this House Divided's only going to get better in the future, which is kind of scary, if we're being quite honest. Like, literally, House Divided actually only gets better from here. That's so scary. Because even though they'll split up next season and have Michigan and Michigan States, Short plays with Michigan, along with Crow, who plays now on Fire Hydrant, I think. Whooper Goes Whoop, who plays Arctera. Yeah. The Wolverines are going to be great. Michigan Wolverines are going to be insane next year, in 2024. Michigan State's going to have a solid roster too, probably. I could see Michigan State even being top of D2, maybe bottom D1 as well, depending on how things shake up with the lineups. We'll see. It'll all depend on how that bracket tournament goes, and that's going to be exciting to watch as well. That's in like February, I think. And yeah, we're going to probably announce it sometime early January. Right around the semester start, I think. Whatever the semester starts for everyone here, because I know it's all different for people. I know the Secret Santa FFA is happening right now, which is big with the MKC scene. I can tell you it's a really fun thing. I played in it last year. Didn't make it out of the first round because I anchored my mate really hard. I still feel really bad about it. Because my mate was like a Division 3 player, played with like NFL Blaze, I think it was. So feel bad. Yeah, Michigan's gonna be cracked next season. Like I'd be scared to play against Michigan next season. What else did I have on my agenda today? Because like not just went over the D3 stuff, went over D2 stuff. D1 didn't have a lot. Trying to see. Gotta do some plugs, I guess, for now while I stall. New Year, New Me event. That should be fun. Almost all of them. Mogul's events are always great, so be sure to do that. Award show tonight, yeah. We're probably gonna be opening up staff applications soon for CKL. If you are interested, please do join because I'll be honest, I really shouldn't be on staff. I do this, and this is basically my CKL commitment for the week. I don't really have time to do all the stuff besides this stream, All-Star game, which I'm behind on already, stuff like that, and like casting, but that's all easy to do. Let's see, what did I have on my podcast thing? Word show tonight, TBD. Okay, about a short stream maybe if we only go 46 minutes, not even 40. Oh, the Fortnite event's happening too. I forgot about that. Oops. Yeah, sure. Anthony, if you want to hop on, actually, I have to set some stuff up. But yeah, I think having that would be interesting because you're playing finals soon, and I I never got around to having an interview with Ontario. So oops, feel bad about that. Let me quick adjust some of your permissions and also figure out where the heck anything is. Goji wants to also. I'd be down honestly. Okay, let me quick adjust some stuff and then I'll get you guys in. Okay, you guys should be able to see a new VC that I'm in the CKL server. It's the one I normally drag you into, but because there's people in the grave, what's the call now? Guide Dog's graveyard. I don't want to bother them, so you should be able to join the broadcasting booth PC then.
Hello, can I be heard?
Hey, can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Currently,
Gotcha.
currently, Goji is currently playing something right now, and in another VC, he'll probably show up in probably in a few minutes.
Gotcha. No problem. No problem. Just gonna quick adjust some things
Right?
and then get started then. I'll just interview you first, and
Yeah.
then we can always just get Goji in as well. Get see how that goes then. So you want a quick? So I know you
Right.
already were. You and the Iona group already got an interview earlier this season, but you want to quick reintroduce yourself anyway?
Hi. Yeah. Hello. I'm Anthony, and I am Golden AJ. I run for Iona. If you know me on the track, I usually run Gold Mario. Not really much to. Not really much of a pick. I see. Hey, I'll take the uniqueness.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Gold Mario, the Metal Mario character in general, has not seen a lot of play since the ever. If I'm being quite honest. You saw him a bit in the Waluigi meta back then, actually, but not too crazy. So yeah, you don't see a lot of Gold Mario, so it's really cool seeing someone actually like rep the character nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, to be fair, I usually main Gold. Well, hold on. Funny story. I like Gold Mario mainly because I usually made Metal Mario back in the MK7 days when I was a child, and I loved how awesome he was and how much I usually played him. So when I saw him at A, I'm like, guess I'm good. And I really didn't really care about the stats or the meta. I just loved playing him. And the custom build that I have is only something I found out like a year ago that just stuck with me. And I didn't know that like it was able to compete with like the meta with the whole Yoshi Teddy Buggy and Waluigi Wigglers type shit.
Yeah, can you remind the audience what setup you're playing on now?
Oh, well, it's Gold Mario, Blue Falcon, usually any of the rollers and Gold Glider.
Yeah, that's an interesting setup there. You don't see Blue Falcon outside of like MK8 Wii U, if I'm being honest. So that's a really interesting setup because I
Yeah,
know it's like heavy on the speed there actually. Kind of balances it out in a way. And rollers obviously because rollers are just the best tires in the game.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting setup there you got then. So how do you think that's been helpful for you? Like, you think having like a bit of a different setup's been good for you like in this league so far?
I would say it's a toss-up. Cause I don't know if you noticed, cause my score is usually wishy-washy depending on how or what happens. Cause usually I usually be on top or I usually be on bottom, and it's mainly because of my recovery strat. And it's better if I just go in on. Oh, there he is. It's better if I it's better if I just start running or and just then do a massive breakaway and just try to defend because I'm usually more of a runner. I'm not much of a bagger. And I'm just seeing a lot of impressive results with when I run.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Given your setup and all that. Forgot to shout out Goji for getting in here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Woke up a couple hours ago, relaxing.
Nice, nice. You know,
Um,
I
mhm.
know you and the rest of the Iona team already were interviewed earlier this season. We want to quick reintroduce yourself anyway for the heck of it.
I'm Goji Yoshi. I'm one of the captains for Iona University team. Um, in terms of relatively new to this whole competitive scene stuff like that, but still, honestly, it's been very fun so far, and I am honestly honored just to even be in the finals in general. I didn't think we get this far, honestly.
Let alone
Yeah,
undefeated.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else I like there.
Really nice.
Now that's completely fair,
Push it
honestly.
probably.
So I'm curious then. You said you didn't expect to get this far. What were your expectations when the season started?
Um, honestly, I kind of expect this more like to be since obviously this star market is very new to us. Especially since the skill range very at first, I will say it was very like it was a very big like gap between our better players on the team and our worst players. Like there was a massive gap, and I was thinking, okay, we don't really know how to war, we don't know any strategy, you don't know even know how to work as a team. So we didn't really, I didn't expect too much from us from the start. More or less expecting us to maybe get like have like a decent run, but oh boy, I was wrong about that.
We
Honestly,
improved, let's say.
after the Morgan State scrim that we did, and we won that, definitely was a massive like confidence boosting. Like, okay, we at least have something. We have depth, and we can definitely do something with this season. And I think we use that like to start the momentums, like get the ball like rolling, and well, at least go undefeated as of now.
Yeah, that I remember just looking at like scrim results because I was like brainstorming everything for like predictions and all that, and I see you guys. When I saw you guys beat Morgan State, I'm like, your stock just skyrocketed on like my radar there because that was a crazy result because like I knew Morgan State was solid mostly just because of Isaiah and having like that kind of like depth there, but like I was stunned to see like the amount of depth early on from Iona, having like a bunch. You've seen it throughout the season. A lot you have a lot of players who can score well, a lot of players who are just really good at the game. Like this early on for not knowing like the
Hmm.
competitive war aspect, and it's been really fun following you guys since the season started.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah,
is really fun.
that definitely was the thing that at least what made me want to start a Mario Kart team last year was that seeing all this talent that we had in the school and be like, okay, why don't we put this talent all together and try to go for something, try to win, and that's what happened. Well, that's what might happen. Who knows?
Well,
Who knows?
I'll just say
Well,
right now. I'll say right now, Franken is expecting us to go the full undefeated. I'm not saying we might not. We might not. At the end of the day, we just want to win, no matter what.
yeah, no matter what for me, I'm looking just to have a fun night. Win or lose, I am just very proud of my team. I am very proud of pretty much our opponents that we're facing tonight. I'm just honestly, I'm just looking to have fun, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Franken apparently wants to get in, so I'm adding Franken. Franken should be able to see this now, so if he hears me and wants to hop in for this interview, feel free to. Gonna wait on him for a bit.
Uh, uh, hold on, I'll ask him then.
Yeah, bring him in here.
Oh, he's currently offline, but like, let me just ping him then.
So I'm here.
Oh, oh my God!
He,
Holy shit!
he came in, bro.
He
He
came
saw
in
That was
like a
media
quick.
input
wrecking
and
ball.
That
he
was quick.
yeah, he rushed it.
Yeah, Jesus.
I was about to check the
The
permissions
more
again,
I
make sure I could see
percent,
him.
he just
You're saying okay. So Goji, I'm gonna hop on something that you said. You said you'll be proud of the team, win or lose. I don't know. Me personally, anybody else on this team can feel whatever they want. But if we lose tonight, I'm taking it to my grave. I am taking it to my grave if we lose. And defeated the whole way, I'd rather miss the playoffs entirely than go undefeated and lose in the playoffs.
All right, Frank, and I expecting you to 180 then in that case.
Right? No, no
If you
I,
don't
I want a
180, I'm kicking you
180.
off
I
the
want a
team right
180.
now.
Although, if I'm being honest, Oklahoma, that's a tough task. They're
yeah.
tough. They're a great team.
Yeah,
They got a lot of depth down the middle. I got the utmost respect for them, even though there's sort of been a little bit of a rivalry. It's all respect, all love.
yeah.
Got a lot of respect for the way they play.
Honestly, shout out
Yeah.
to all like the Div 3 teams. It was very fun like talking to you guys, playing with you guys too. Very
Yeah.
fun. Honestly great people everywhere.
All,
Not just even Div
all,
3, but all around all of collegiate. Just
no,
everyone here is
definitely.
great.
Yeah, this is
Definitely,
a
I'll say
fantastic community.
a great experience to just be in.
That's probably the thing I'm happiest to hear them. Yeah, that's the thing I'm most happy to hear about because I can tell you, 2 years ago, this scene was not a thing, at least collegiate wise. There was one college team, and we had no idea if anyone would ever join. But now we're seeing teams start to grow. We see a lot of players connecting from across the country and also Canada. So really happy to see that. I know, yeah, it's definitely still competitive. I understand Franken completely with I'm taking this to my grave if we lose. I lost in MKU finals in over the summer, and I that still haunts me to this day. So I understand the complete feeling of like wanting to win in championships. So don't feel bad about saying those things. Like, yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
They're like, I've
At
dealt
the
with
end,
enough losing in my life. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Giants fan.
I
I'm a
was
Devils
oh
fan,
joking.
and
dear.
I've been a Yankee fan in the 2010s, dude. I've dealt with enough losing and coming up short.
I just want to get to the World Series
All
at some
right,
point. I just want to get to the World Series again. That's all I care about at this point as a Yankees fan. It's rough.
all right, man. Okay.
Okay, let's continue then with the interview. So, you guys have been undefeated, which is one of the craziest runs, especially considering we didn't even know Iona was going to make a team for this league, and then they go on to become undefeated throughout the regular season, undefeated still in semis. How do you think being undefeated has like helped or like maybe like affected your mindset at all going into championships today?
Well, I mean, I've sort of embraced it instead of letting it weigh me down. At least personally, I can't speak for all my teammates. I can't see inside their heads, but speaking for myself personally, I let it boost me. It's really big, like confidence wise. I think it's like, okay, we've taken care of business before, so let's just do it again. Like we know our process, we're confident in it. Although we have made tweaks to it, we haven't become complacent, and that is something that I am very proud of when it comes to this team. Is we have not been complacent. We have been ready. We have been prepared, and we've learned some lessons in scrims. We've lost scrims. We lost a scrim to Oklahoma. We've lost scrims to UNI, and honestly, those scrims, we've learned a lot. And even in the times where we've faltered in games, we've used those moments as teaching moments to further refine our game, to further refine our play, really.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
Mm.
that now. Like that makes a lot of sense. In a way, it's really good that that you lost scrims to UNI to OUA. Having those like teaching moments is incredibly important. Like I've seen this plenty of times. I've gone over this like multiple times throughout this like stream throughout the past few weeks. It's really hard to go 10-0 and then lose in finals because a lot of the teams who go 10-0 don't have those teaching moments of losing in beforehand, and it makes it harder to learn how to play when you're behind, know how to play when things aren't going your way. So I'm glad to hear the teaching moments are like a thing with you guys, and like having that adversity is really what makes helps. I've always said champions are defined by how they respond to adversity. You guys seem to be doing that in spades. So glad to hear that despite being undefeated, you're not getting complacent. You're still like looking at this and like still aiming to win and keep that undefeated thing going.
It's great. I mean, if we didn't have those teaching moments, I'm gonna be honest, we would have lost game 2 against Nebraska. They had us like they had us down 14 after race 8. And before, if we didn't have those teaching moments in those scrims, we we would have drowned. But instead, we we looked at that adversity. We we sort of regathered ourselves, and we went back out there. We were confident, and I'm trying to look for the word here, but we were ready. We weren't knocked off our balance. We got back up, and we went back in those final 4 races, and we played really well. So So I'm proud of that. Despite I'm very proud of my team's ability to respond to adversity really well while being undefeated. I'm almost surprised by it in a way, but that it's a good thing. It's a very good thing, and I'm proud of this team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say from my end, I feel like it was more of a wake up call to hey, we're not indestructible. We have our losses, so it's best we still adapt to the best of our ability, even if we're winning.
hmm I'll speak at least on my end of it. I would say that it did kind of get to, at least for me, in terms of playing, kind of get to me typically being towards the top, where like there were times where if I didn't get like do perform as like would normally do, I would beat myself up for it. But over time, like especially help with joining I joined our team Interstellar, and like over there, I'm more like aligned with like everybody else. I'm not like the stand up on top of it, like one of the better. I'm like middle of the pack. That was a very much a great wake up call to be like, okay, there are of course going to be people who are way better than me at this game, and honestly, I'm going to take it as a learning experience. Take it to learn, take it to grow, increase my skills, give me motivation to get better. And hey, I will say since I joined that team, I definitely have improved greatly.
Pretty good.
That's great to hear, Goji.
It is, yeah.
I'm actually gonna follow up on that because I do have a couple questions with that process. I've seen players actually. I love my favorite thing about this community right now, especially with it being the off season coming up. You're seeing a lot of players make that jump to go play for other teams and like see and like kind of get that wake up call as you mentioned. One of the players I coach for Moravia, and he was by far their best player who was doing amazing as a runner and was almost always near the front. He was like he dropped a 130 in his first war in CKL, goes to another team. He played with my team actually, and then dropped like a 50 in like one in his first war, and it was like that kind of like experience of like it can be very different. So if you want to talk about that,
Yeah.
like talk about how different it can be, like going from CKL to like another team, just like the difference in like play style, the pace, like whatever you think is important.
Um. Well, first off, like I mentioned, scoring like on my average, well, this season was around 116 points per game. I think over there, like I've had games where I would get like I had a game where I got 40, like 46, which is pretty horrendous. But most of the games now I just average around high 50 low 60, which is more being me being more towards the back. But I think more or less it's just of going from how Iona functions, where we kind of have our own thing, but going to how a new team with different people and trying to learn what tracks they like, what tracks they choose, stuff like that. It's this whole like all massive jump that hopefully it took a while for me to like adjust to. Now where I am now, I'm kind of starting to get a lot better. I'm getting a lot better results. I'm getting now actually starting to get towards the 70s, and I'm starting to try to catch up to where I am. I guess now here in collegiate, at least for the current team that I'm a part of. And then who knows, maybe I might get put up to a different team. But absolutely, I would say it's just something I would recommend to everybody because it's just a great way to like practice and also meet more people. There's
I guess.
there is I will say that community there, Interstellar. There, this is kind of like a plug, but like genuinely some great people are there. So bunch of people here from collegiate are also there too. Um, I would recommend everybody who wants to like just play the game, especially during the off season, just join a team. It isn't that hard. Even worst case, you can even just be an ally for a bunch of other teams and just play the game. Seriously, Mario Kart is a very fun game. We all love it. That's why we're all playing competitively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
nothing
like I
isn't
said,
yeah. Nothing's better than just
well,
playing the game and having fun instead of just like, playing for keeps.
yeah. No, and to be fair, I don't know if I mentioned this outside of Iona, but I'm more of a 20cc guy, so I've been looking for leagues that want that require 20cc to run. And even with my build is technically built for 200 cc. I never really expected it to also run in 150 cc, but hey, I'm still looking.
If you're interested in 200, I might be able to hit. I might be able to get you connected because I do play with a 200 team. What was our team called? Like Six Flags Great Adventure. We might change it to another theme park for next season, but we will be eventually looking for new players. There's a few other 200 teams out there, so AJ, I'll hit you up probably closer to when another 200 league is announced, and then I can, if you want to like look for teams, I can help you out with that. But generally, anyone looking for teams, I'm willing to
I,
help out because like as Goji mentioned, it's great. The community itself is great. Like even one, it's a great learning experience. If you run a lot in CKL, you are forced to learn how to play in the mid pack, how to bag. You're learning new tracks that you'll never play in like college leagues, but maybe because this one team plays against a lot of French teams, you have to learn how to play like Bone Dry Dunes or something like that. Some you get a lot of experience there, and that's the really the best part about it. So let's move on to another question then. I know we've discussed about you guys going undefeated this like entire season so far. Do you think losing one game will like change that? Like do you still consider yourself undefeated if you lose a game? This is mostly like Franken question, but like cuz I know like are you aiming for the perfect 10-0 plus 2-0 semis and then 2-0 finals, or you just
14 and
want the
0.
dub? You want the
14 and
14-0? Okay,
0.
good to know.
Like I would obviously it's preferred to go 14 and 0, but at the end of the day, we just want to win. No matter how we win, like we could go down 1-0, like we could lose game 1 by 200 and then we could win games 2 and 3 by 2 points each. I don't care. I don't care. I want to win.
yeah,
Hmm.
I guess that's the same for me.
I I would still say we went undefeated, even if we do lose like if we do lose a game one or like game two. I would still say that just because honestly that has a nicer ring to it. Although by technicality, if we lose just even if we lose one of those games in the set, technically we're not no longer undefeated. But like you can also say that for the scrims. So I
Ye-
digress.
But the
Yeah,
scrims don't count.
I
Scrims are
mean,
scrims.
I mean,
It's for something. It's for
yeah,
bragging rights.
and for
Scrims is
the
just practice.
yeah, and for the record, we did not expect us to beat Morgan State a second time, and by a landslide too.
I mean, hey, Morgan State. I mean, I got the utmost respect for Zay. Like, he is a great dude, great player. I'm shocked I dropped 134 in that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be straight up. Like, I'm surprised.
Yeah, also very fun to play with State again, obviously. Very
yeah,
fun.
very,
A really
I
good
was
partner
expecting
of
it to be a little
ours.
closer though, but I was just underestimating how much better like we've gotten as a team.
Yeah.
Let's continue underestimating ourselves.
I will be honest, you guys have
Uh,
had like an incredible run. Like I remember, like even in the beginning of the season, it's like there was an argument that you guys should have been D2, and like honestly, looking back, yes, you guys should have been Division Two. I think you guys probably make playoffs in Division Two if I'm looking at results and stuff like that. Ignoring all the drama that happened in Division Two, but you guys are having like an insane season for your first time out. So I know you have finals tonight, and you're probably not thinking much about the future yet. But what are you thinking, like goal wise, going into 2024?
Goal wise, going into 2024, I mean, like the ultimate goal overall is to be the best team in the country. Like any collegiate athletic program that doesn't have that goal in mind, they should get out of the rat race. But but I mean,
It's just
obviously,
good for you.
the goal next year. I mean, obviously, we've played amazingly. I mean, I remember my goal, at least personally, coming into this year was just to get our feet wet and really learn the ropes, and then next season, like 2024, 25, then we can go in and really start pushing the envelope. But I mean, the way we've played, I mean, the expectations sort of changed after week 2, where we started 4-0 and we're like, hold on, like maybe there's something there. But I mean, coming in the next season, obviously gonna have to temper the expectations because Div 2 is it's a tougher environment. Obviously, I mean, we're gonna be going up against players like Zay. We're gonna be going up against, like Alabama, even though like their name recognition alone from college football scares me. But but
Of course.
the what other teams are in Div 2? I mean, Moravian, obviously. I mean, they're going to be ready. McDaniel, Morgan State. I mean, that's going to be a tough environment, and I can't wait to play there. Like, it's gonna be fun.
Hey, less pressure if we don't go undefeated, right?
But yeah, less pressure, way less pressure. I'm gonna be honest, dude. That there's pressure in being undefeated. I'm just gonna say straight up right now.
There is pressure.
It's
Yeah.
like because everybody's looking at you. It's like you're high up, like you're at the top, but then you look down. Like if we fall, that's gonna hurt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's
But
also
again,
like a lot of
we're not
eyes from
letting
our
it weigh us
program too.
down.
Yeah. Also a lot of
Be-
eyes from like the program too. So obviously we're a brand new team, stuff like that. We've had some doubts from other people in our in the esports club saying things like, oh, we don't really deserve to be a team, stuff like that. But right now, regardless of what happens tonight, I think we proved everybody wrong.
yeah. Regardless, we proved everybody wrong. At least at Iona, and I'm not trying to say that everybody in Iona Esports is a jerk who just who passed off our team as a fake Mickey Mouse like kiddie game. But like that we've gotten a lot of support though, like from people in the program, and that has not gone unnoticed.
Yeah.
Like it's been great to see people at Iona sort of rallying behind us and asking like, "Oh, Mark, oh boy, you guys really played great this week." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah," and obviously it helps the program. Being able to play for my school, it's great. I've never been an athlete before, but I've been a massive sports fan my whole life. So really being in this situation, it's surreal. Playing for a championship, because if we win tonight, that's nothing or nobody can take away from us. Like personally, like that's a title that we'll have for the rest of our lives. And I know this sounds a little corny talking about like beating strangers at a kid's party game, but I don't care, dude. Like but it's an amazing feeling, and I want to feel that tonight. Like I want to be able to say to that kid, that 7-year-old kid that was in his basement grinding Mario Kart Wii, to say like, hey, like you made it. Like all those times where you were raging at the CPUs in 150, where you broke your 3DS because you didn't get 3 stars on you didn't get the 3 stars on Mario Kart 7. It's like I want to be able to, after tonight, say to that kid that he made it, that eventually he made it.
This original quote, yeah, it's so fucking funny.
I really hope I would hope that's a true story.
No, it is a true story. I did snap my 3DS in half because
Oh
I was
my god.
I was trying to get the 3 star name on Mario Kart 7.
Oh no.
I think I managed to get the 3 star. Oh my god, 7.
Bruh.
Better than me.
I think I once tried going to get 3 stars for in Mario Kart DS, and like that was back before I knew how broken snaking was, and that was just that did not work.
That was before you got carpal tunnel in
Same.
your left hand.
Yeah.
True story. True story. By the way, I
Oh
managed.
man. Damn. Nice.
Yeah, interesting stories. Okay, that was great stuff though. Honestly, hearing all that. Carpal tunnel. Yeah, I hate the fact that that's like a repeated thing in this community for some reason. Like we call this a kiddie party game, but then I've actually seen quite a few people get injured with Mario Kart. Like not even in DS, but like just 8 Deluxe. There's people getting injured in this game. It's kind of crazy. But I say that, but I was one of them, so I can't really talk if I'm being honest. Um,
Wait, what injuries? I'm just curious, like what injuries come from this game?
um, I will tell you that Moravian had a really bad history of Mario Kart injuries. The current captain.
You got bit by the injury bug?
Oh my
Oh my!
god.
I wrote up an injury report last year, you see in sports, like this player did not play, injury, sore
Questionable,
thumb, sore wrist.
questionable, doubtful.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote up an injury report because we actually had two players injured at one point. I'm like, this is rough. So the current Mario Kart captain at Moravian, last spring she sprained her thumb. I forget what game she was playing. It was either Mario Kart or Splatoon. Um, Maybe both actually, because both of them did not
Like
help her.
no game.
Yeah, so she sprained her thumb. She was out for like 2 weeks. Like, actually went to the doctor and sprained her, and like, oh yeah, you actually sprained your thumb. And I'm like, what the hell am I witnessing right now? And then like not long after, I was wearing a wrist brace because of one, I don't know, some like random pain happened in my left wrist, and then like work maybe like a freak work injury also. So those things kind of added up. So I was playing Mario Kart tournaments with a wrist brace, and I was playing college Splatoon with a wrist brace, and that was not fun. But hey, gaming injuries happen, as funny as it is.
They ain't no game now, is it?
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, we're, I guess, well, in a sense, we're not really like how athletes kind of push their bodies to limits. We kind of just push our hands to their limits.
Yeah.
Eh, I mean, when I was younger, I used to game a lot, so I guess I'm already used to this.
I feel like everybody in this league was glued to screens from when they were kids.
Well, not as much as Gen Alpha.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh boy. Wait until they get into the competitive Mario Kart scene,
Oh,
eventually.
it's probably gonna be more drama. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Who knows?
Okay, let's move on then. So, gonna wrap up the interview soon, but am curious. I know you've had a season of a lot of highs, but what's been the highlight of your season so far?
Oh boy, that is tough.
I,
That is really
for
tough.
me,
I mean,
well, hold on. I'll say for me, it's some of the funny moments we had in comms.
oh yeah, dude.
Uh,
Comms have been really fun.
uh,
Yeah, I will say this, at least one thing I can, again, I can always compare, I can compare from being two teams now. The way how we do comms, we're a lot more casual about it versus other, which does kind of help, like benefits and hurts us, I'd say.
yeah.
I mean,
It's in at the end of the
we've
day, we're
leveled
also playing for
down.
all fun. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, we're playing for fun, but we're also playing to win.
yeah.
But still,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. We play
those
for fun.
comms are
We have
funny.
fun when we win.
yeah. I'm hold on. Hope you know I'm actually going to check to see if I have my 3 stars on Mario Kart 7.
um, okay, at least for me, my highlight probably
Oh,
would just have to be like just making it's like I would say just tryouts and just watching everyone play and like just seeing the highlight, like seeing like all the and that's not really part of the season, but like at least for me, like with the team, like the team stuff like that, just seeing everyone play stuff like that, seeing all this talent and just watching this, seeing a lot of people caring about competitive market, people who are being interested in it. And I know like at least marker as a competitive scene is like only now starting to like begin to blow up, really. Like before, you really wouldn't hear about it too much, but now like I think it's mostly because like the content creators like they're starting to blow up with it, especially with the thanks to like the booster course stuff like that, and
Mhm.
Mario Kart having more interest with it. But like it's just really fun to see all this stuff, and honestly, yeah.
My highlight, honestly, was probably I don't know why this sticks out to me so much, but the game in the regular season against Nebraska. And it's not because I dropped 140. It was sort of like because that was when we started getting like legitimized and respected by our esports program. Like we went like against University of Nebraska, like a big Power 5 school, and we went in and there was hype. There was actual hype. There was buzz at Iona about this game, and then we went in and played one of the best games we played all season. Like we went in and we were all on our game. We were like, it was really fun, and that was sort of the moment that I realized we had something special. Like we had something that could do great things in the future.
Love those
I agree.
answers. Yeah, absolutely love those answers. You get a mix of everything. The comms aspect is one of the best things about like a game in general. I still have great memories of like hearing the stupidest stuff um setting comms, whether it be in my college team, whether it be in the teams I play on now. Just great stuff there. You see I understand Goji's point of like making the team and like seeing players like grow, seeing the team as a whole develop, and that's always a great experience. Just seeing all that happen in front of your eyes, basically a team that you create, and then just like it grows into something. And then especially yeah, getting those big wins against like big schools. I remember the Iona Nebraska match in the regular season. I remember looking at that as like this is such a big matchup here. Iona is undefeated at this point. Nebraska won as the third ever college team to ever have like a Mario Kart program. So there was a lot of stuff like on the line, a lot of history there. And seeing like yeah, Iona develop into this potentially emergent powerhouse in CKL and the collegiate Mario Kart scene, it's been a pleasure honestly to watch you guys develop, especially as fast as you have, and really happy to see you guys even here in the first place, especially contending for a championship this soon.
You gotta close the
agree.
deal tonight, though.
Yeah. Also,
Absolutely.
I just got into the game. I do in fact have 3 stars, and I am labeled a star racer.
Nice. How about that?
Yeah,
Okay, well, I
star
think
racer.
that's going to close out the interview. Is there any like final thoughts you have for before your playoff match, before your championship match later today that you want to say, or anyone you want to shout out before we head off?
I don't want to
The
give
fog is.
anyone any bulletin board material.
All I'm gonna say is the fog is coming.
That is
all I
the
will
exact
say
that is the exact definition of bulletin material.
all I will say is at least on the behalf of us and like I only and his marker team that we are ready, and I also wish Oklahoma the best of luck. And honestly,
Yeah,
may the best team win.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, all love with them. They've been a great partner of ours.
Yeah, I think that's great, honestly. No matter how competitive you guys get, this and how much of a bit of a rivalry you have with Oklahoma, it's still a great relationship between the two teams, pretty much. And like, it's coming down to the two best teams in your division. So I'm excited to watch that. I'm hoping that it's a great match as well, and I wish you guys the best of luck. But once again, thank you guys for hopping on for this interview, and yeah, good luck with your championship match later today.
All right.
All right, thanks, Spicy.
Thank you again.
I
Of course, good luck, guys.
Yes.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, well, I think that's gonna wrap up for here today with CKL Game Day episode 8. If I'm being quite honest, I don't know when the next one's going to be. I'm actually not sure if I'm available on next Saturday. Maybe we'll start moving game day to another day. Maybe we'll just do some other kind of stream instead. We'll see. It's been a pleasure, guys, though, and like getting to do this. I don't know when the next one will be. No guarantee it's next week, but hopefully it'll be sooner than later because this has been a really fun experience. Really happy to have like a bit of a community watching now. It's been fun. Don't ever didn't really think I would be able to do anything with this, but it's been a good time, and I'm really happy that a lot of people have been watching this, even doing anything. Yo, Goji, thank you for the sub. Subscribe for 6 months at tier 1. Whoa! Honestly, I don't know how worth it that sub is going to be, but I appreciate you, man. Good luck with your match tonight. Really hoping for a great match with you guys. Maybe who knows? Maybe if Iona wins, I'll figure out a way to visit in person, get you like some like tiny trophy or something like that I can actually afford. And then like, yeah, we'll do like an award presentation if Iona wins D3 championship. We'll see. No guarantee yet, but Iona is like really close to where I go to grad school, so it's not the most out of the picture thing. It's possible. I don't know. We'll see, and we'll see. But that's something we'll talk about later down the line. In the meanwhile, we got a lot of stuff happening later tonight. D3 finals happening later today. Award show for CKL happening later tonight on the CKL Twitch. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. But once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and hope to see you guys around next time.